Hello you, I'm Ed. Welcome back to Real Thrills, your home of theme parks and film entertainment. As you can see, Jordan isn't here with me today as we are here doing another real review film. We're reviewing another film, and this film is Avatar 3 Fire and Ash. Before this video begins, don't forget to like and comment and subscribe so you don't miss a single film review and stuff related to theme parks. So, let's begin with the positives here. Some of the major positive I can give this film, for me personally, is the visual effects. James Cameron has done an amazing job with the visual effects for this film. You can just tell he's a master filmmaker at this point. You know, he's done Terminator 1, Terminator 2, Titanic, The Abyss. The guy just knows what he's doing when it comes to visuals and how to tell a story. Sometimes we'll get to that later on, but he can really show off a film's visuals and its cinematography really well, and it's just the way and the size and the scope of this film is insane. And of course, you can't forget the iconic score of Avatar as well, and it's still the same here. I'm not a massive fan of the Miley Cyrus song, but it's still part of the film and it's quite good. And of course, the actual main soundtrack is really good, and it's a solid start to the film. Also, I like the cast in here. They're really strong as always, with Jake, of course, with Jake Sully and Neytiri being huge standouts as always. But this time, you know what? Una Chaplin was brilliant in this film. She was like the big highlight for me. She was a great villain. And the same with Quaritch. They actually give him stuff to do in this film, and he actually kind of has a redemption arc going. I actually quite like that, and it's a shame they didn't go further with that because it actually worked really well here. And he didn't just feel like this one-note villain. He actually felt like a proper villain and threat, which I really liked. And some more positives I can say is obviously the whole cast here, all are solid from the ground up. All of them, even the supporting cast, like the ones that are just there to just be there as like the whole family dynamic and this tribe and everything. But the big standouts here are definitely Quaritch and his dynamic, just in general with Una Chaplin. Una Chaplin's character is great. And you know what? I think that Stephen Lang did a brilliant job, and he was much better in this film than he was in the previous one. Now, another good thing about this film is it plays it safe. In a way, you can say that's a good thing because it doesn't break the formula of the other two films, and it feels like a proper continuation of part 2, The Way of Water, which is actually quite good and it helps with this film. But the whole reason people go to see these films, of course, is the visuals, and the visuals do not disappoint, and they look groundbreaking, and you definitely need to go and see this film in IMAX or in 4DX or whatever your equivalent is, wherever you're from, but IMAX if possible, because this film was made to be seen in the cinemas. And hopefully this film does well in the cinemas. I think it's doing quite well at the moment, and it's on track to get 1 billion, or it's got 1 billion, I'm not entirely sure, but it's doing quite well for an Avatar film, but not as well as the second one. But hey ho, and there was a high budget for this, which you feel it. Now, let's go on to the mixed aspect, which is like the questions a lot of people ask about these films. Is there a post-credit scene? No, there isn't. But there's a cool like visuals that they show of the characters throughout in the credits, like just showing who the cast played with each character, but they don't get their own animation. It's quite nice. But there's not really any post-credit scene here for you guys to watch. But another big question is, do you need to watch the other two films to get this one? And yes, you absolutely do need to see Way of Water for sure. The first Avatar, not so much, but the second film, for sure, you need to see Avatar Way of Water for this film to make sense. Now that we are to the mixed aspect, let's move on to the negatives. Now, the negatives here is this story feels the exact same as the second film. So as I mentioned, it plays it safe. This is also a negative because we've seen this before, and literally when I went to see this film with my mum, she walked out and went, haven't I seen this film before? I swear down I've seen this film before. And I was like, it did feel very similar to the second one. Like, story was beat for beat the same. And yeah, which is a shame, because it feels like this film didn't explore any new, like, groundbreaking story or lore or anything. Nothing was really expanded upon too much. The only new thing here was the Fire and Ash tribe, but then again, they're barely in this film. They're in it like half. They're not in the whole thing, considering the runtime is 3 hours and 17 minutes. You don't feel the runtime, which is good. However, this story is the same thing again as the second one. So it's very repetitive, and it doesn't really justify this film existing. I actually wanted to know, why do we need a third one? And it couldn't really answer that question clearly with this film. James Cameron probably just wanted to make a visual masterpiece rather than worry about the story. But you know, the story is a big part of film making, and clearly it's very absent here, the story. There isn't really one that's different. And even the action set pieces feel the exact same as the second film, which again hurts it very much so. And I don't know, even the finale is the exact same, where they're on a boat and they must destroy the boat, and the guy from the second one who was hunting down these whale creatures is hunting them down again. It's like, we've done this before. We even get Quaritch versus Jake Sully again, and we're like, haven't we done this before? Hasn't the Colonel fought him again? You could have actually had him redeem himself or do something more interesting, but nothing really happens there. So the action just feels samey, which makes this film just mid overall for me. It's just mid. Like, there's some good bits, there's some bad bits here, and I would give this a 3.5. Another like a bit I'm not exactly keen on was the whole plot line with Spider. I didn't really like his character in this film. He was alright in the second one, but the third one here, he takes a main focus, and the acting, I don't know, it's just not great. No offence to the guy, he seems like a lovely chap and a nice guy, but the acting was not it for me. It was just not it. It was cringe, and it was very forced for him to be in this story. And the whole kiss scene, oh god, was awful. Why did they do that with him and whatever, Kiri? Why did they do that? It was so bad. And Sigourney Weaver is like double his age. It's like really creepy and noncy. They could have taken that scene out. It was very uncomfortable to watch. However, that's pretty much the negatives I have. It's quite a big balance, to be honest, and I would say definitely watch this film in the cinema for the visuals and just to come back to this world, because we love the world of Pandora because it's so visually stunning. It's just a shame this story is very lackluster, and it's something we've seen before about 1,000 times within this franchise. And the whole lore with this new god, like the mother or whatever they look up to, I can't remember what she's called, but even that doesn't expand much on the lore here. And you're just kind of left with more questions than answers, and you're like, we've seen this before. They could have done much more with what they had. But yes, overall, I would say this is a 3.5, and it is mid. But check it out in cinemas. Watch it on the biggest screen possible, because that's what these films are designed for. But yeah, thank you for watching today's episode of The Real Review. I've been Ed, and you've been you. We'll see you in Wednesday's video. Enjoy. Thanks for watching. I don't have a clapperboard, so that's a wrap.